Okay, so okay, so that was for roles, right? Okay. Anyone else? Ramkrishna, Venu, do you remember? That's fine in case if you don't remember, but at least tell me that you don't remember. Okay.
No,
Silence,
sure.
I'll take. Okay, that's fine. So that's fine. Okay, so let me quickly share my screen and we'll get started with the different levels of security which are there in ANA plan. So not to mix, we'll go one by one. And the first one to start off with is going to be your roles. Okay, so so roles is more like you are controlling the access on basis of some groups which you have already created. Or these groups could be roles in an organization. For an instance, how it goes like maybe suppose imagine a scenario where you had your supply chain planning done. So over there could be people related with demand side, people related with inventory side, people related with dispatch side. There could be some HR person, there could be some person who is at managerial level, there are person who are at executive level. So all these different categories of people who fall under, like if someone falls under either of these categories. So if there's a split, like two people fall under each of these groups. And what you want is like suppose your model is currently having different types of modules or lists or different datas, and you want to make sure like only a certain group can see an X amount or X type of data, then there you can use possibly the role features in Anaplan. Another possible example could be like you have like a salary of an employee. So obviously the salary is something which you just want to display or which you want only HR to see, but not the fellow employees. So suppose the organization have like five people who are directly related with the payroll, and that's getting stored into ANA plan. So you're going to be creating one role, HR for payroll or something similar on these lines. And what you're going to be doing, if any modules is having, just give me a second, please. Okay. So, yep. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. So, yeah. So, and you want that salary to be hidden for each and every fellow employees, but rather only the HR and the payroll can see that. You can create a role, HR, and make sure that only those data, when I talk about the data, so I possibly mean here the data which could be in your list modules, and that could only be visible to the particular section of employees. Okay, so just cutting the long story short, let's move with and see how things are done practically, and then we will again correlate with what we discussed, and we will try to form a relation, and possibly that would make more sense.
Abhishek, sorry, I was disconnected for some time.
So when you're seeing roles, that we create the roles here and then give access to particular module.
Yeah. So it's more like suppose like there are 10,000 employees in an organization and only 10 people okay, are HR people. And obviously, suppose this financial planning model, a lot of other people will also be using apart from HR one. Okay. And you don't want the fellow users to see an access or have an access to see the salary of the employees. Only the HR people can or HR person can see that. So if you want the access restriction on the basis on these lines, then possibly you can create a role HR and then you can create another role. Possibly it could be like normal executives, or even you don't need to create a normal executive, you just create an HR role, and under an HR role you give an access to these specific modules or data sets, and your job is done.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. So not confusing more, let's start off with our exercises and probably practicals. So before I come into roles, the first thing first, you have this users tab. I mean, pretty much you would have noticed in the past as well. And if you just want to give an access to any user, probably to this model, you can click on add user. You can give the email address. Suppose anyone would like to tell their email address. Akhil or Ramkrishna, can you ping your email address here into the chat, please? So someone pinged. So it will have ping. All right. So suppose I currently you guys I don't have an access to the Trainer one, and now suppose like I give an access to Akhil. So I mean, one thing to notice, like your first name and last name gets automatically catched. Okay, I mean that comes in here. I didn't enter, and then you are being asked like whether you want this user like Akhil currently. Shall I be giving him a workspace admin access or not? I can enable disable that. Suppose I just disable it, and then there's something like role, which role I want to give an access to. We'll come to it what it means. So currently I give him full access and I click OK. Similarly, I add in Ram Krishna as well. By the way, Akhil, just go to your Gmail and you will see there would be one mail coming in. Okay, that will be an invitation mail. Maybe Ram Krishna, you can also just see, and maybe you guys can quickly share a screen, someone who would have got this mail, Ram Krishna or Akhil, so that all of us can see what type of mail you are getting in your inbox. Have an invitation from Anna Plan.
It's ramkrishna.d. You can remove that d dot. I forgot to mention. Hello. Can I read that one? Sorry.
What made you give this ID in the chat?
I am a little bit confusion whether I can give this same login ID or another one.
Okay, that's fine. So tell me, should I be removing this D from here, right?
D dot. Yes. Ramkrishna.d itself. Okay,
that's fine, right?
Yes.
Okay. Will you check your mail IDs, guys? You will have received an invitation mail from Anapna.
Yeah, I received the email. Can't share because this is a company laptop, so I cannot share. You cannot use the Gmail here. I'm checking in my mobile.
Okay. Ramkrishna, can you see, please?
Yes. Just a minute.
Just
Okay.
Take your time, take your time. No worries.
this topic question is the only one which I answered wrongly.
Oh, okay. So, for everyone, see, this is type of mail which you get as soon as you get an invitation from Workspace, okay, to log in. So, this mail is not from Anaplan, but rather this mail is from the Talent Builder 557 Workspace. Okay, so think in those terms. So what happens, like, if someone adds you in different workspaces, like currently you are in your organizational workspace, someone adds you to a client workspace, someone adds to a you and maybe some other workspace accordingly. So what you can do is you can very well just log in to these workspaces and check your mails and accordingly can have an access to that specific model. So that is one thing which I wanted to show you. I mean, you can use login and just log into your Anaplan right now, please. I'll show you.
Yeah, it shows there. It's showing. Rajesh.
Okay. Now you see that drop down. Okay. And that's how you can toggle between different workspaces. Okay.
Yeah.
So just remember this. I mean, reason I showed you, like if you get added in a workspace and your organization and someone says you, can you move to the workspace so you don't get confused later how to toggle. Okay. So that's how you are going to be toggling among the different workspaces. All right, maybe you can stop sharing now, Krishna. Guys, give me 5 minutes. I'll just have some issues. Hey guys, sorry to keep you on hold. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that is how you can give multiple user access to your models depending upon the need. Okay, and you just remember like how you can toggle between different workspaces because I mean, though it looks very straightforward, but I mean, initially few folks did had issues. I mean, since you will be doing it first time, it becomes little tricky. By the way, Ramkrishna's your workspace name was Elevate. I mean, are you using that learning platform workspace only, or are you using some different workspace?
No, same learning, same platform.
How come? I mean, your workspace is a little fishy, right? I mean, something is already created there. Name is also different.
Yes.
Okay, it looks a little
Because
weird.
when started the derivate program, no, and that time only I enrolled that one. It is
Mhm.
back in 6 months. Still, I'm not getting any issues in that. So that's why I'm using the same thing.
Come again, come again.
Means I enrolled at 6 months back.
Okay.
Means at that time I started like level 1.
Hmm.
After that, means due to some constraints, all these things, I stopped that one.
So still, your access didn't got revoked. That's what you mean, right?
Yes, it is same thing.
Oh my God.
I didn't got any notification, nothing. Still, it is working for me and Karthika. I'm using same.
Okay.
That way, I can access the Karthik's also.
But Karthik is also having similar.
Yes, yes, same thing.
I mean, he's also not having any issues. He's been using the workspace in 6 months.
Yes.
Don't know, man, how you guys are raising it. Other folks don't believe this. Okay, this doesn't happen every time. This is an exception case.
When they means release the elevate, no, before that only I enrolled that one, me and
Mhm.
Karthik. So after that, they got program elevate.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
So anyways, you enjoy your free workspace then. Okay. Well, I guess just coming back to the point, the first thing is like obviously you can add one user like this. Now, obviously, the question will be like, like what if there are multiple users? Suppose you get list of 100 planners and that you need to add it. Okay. Obviously, here also you have an option of import out here. Okay. You can very well use an import function, import feature, and you can, create an Excel in this format where you will have first column as the username, I mean, email ID, first name, last name if you want. Then you can put in some model role, workspace administrator. So this is going to be a Boolean line item. Okay, yes, no type. And user ID you don't need to give. So Anaplan will, assign explicitly this user ID from their end. Okay, implicitly, not explicitly. So that is how your users get added into the system. Okay. And I mean, at times you may be asked like, to add in these users. If you want to remove the access, okay, the thing is, you can very well go and delete this. Okay. So suppose I want to delete d.ramkrishna, I can delete that from here. Ramkrishna will not have an access to this model now, d.ramkrishna. And at the same time, if you just want to restrict or keep on adding workspace administrator, I can very well go and check it from here. So if I enable this, Ramkrishna, when he refreshes his page of Anaplan, he will be able to see different models which are contained under this workspace. I'm just removing it for the time being now, once again. So that is how you are going to be adding in the users. So the few options which you will have noticed over here was you have a username, you have a first name, you have a last name, you have something like a model role, workspace administrator, and then you have user IDs. Now, the point is, which we need to understand, this option that is model role, what is it all about? So like I mentioned, It's going to be given on the basis of the group of users which are there. And you can very well go and restrict the entire group to have an access, or give entire group an access to a particular area. So suppose like we want to create one role, okay, and that's going to be an HR, okay, or maybe some financial person, whatever. I mean, just for the ease of naming convention, I'll keep it as HR. So you need to go on roles. So there are two roles already into this model. Okay, full access, it's going to be a default role, and there is a planner which has already been created. So I'm just going to be creating one new role, that is HR. So I created this HR role, and now you need to go on these tabs: roles, modules, roles versions, roles list, roles actions, and you can just define which one you want to give an access. So currently, if you see how things are placed, so currently the HR is not having an access to any of these modules. Okay, so everything is none. So by default, the action is none out there. And the thing is, if you want maybe the HR to have some access to specific modules, you can very well go and given the access by enabling this option here, the drop down. So each module will have these three drop downs available, that is none, read, and write. So this specifies like, what level of access you want to give. You want to give a read access, you want to give a write access, or something similar to that. So you can enable them accordingly. So by default, if any person who is having this HR role will open this model, okay, he will not be able to see any of the values. Okay, so for him, everything will by default will be invisible. Okay, everything will be hidden for him. So what I do, like maybe margin calculation is something which I want to maybe just quickly give him read access. So as soon as you give a read access, so what happens? The person will be able to read the underlying data over there in this module. Okay. Similarly, if you give a write access, the person can come up and write something over here in this module. So that is how your read write access works over here. Okay.
For example,
And
for any user, if I give a write access here, but I don't give a workspace
that's why
administrator.
the default read will be there.
Sorry.
If you give a write access, by default, read access will be there.
No. My question was, I give a write access here, but I don't give a workspace administrator access. So in that case, only for this rev2 volume inputs, I still have edit access.
So in this particular model, he can do this activity.
Yeah.
I mean, that will work for him.
Workspace administration will be for all the models.
Workspace is for all the models. Okay. As soon as you make someone workspace administrator, he's having a master level of access.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how it works over here. So accordingly, you can define in the read write roles for the read write access for different roles. Then you have some versions. I mean, which version you want to give an access, accordingly you can control. Similarly, which list you want these people to see. Okay, you can enable. And similarly, which actions you want to give or enable these role people to see. Maybe the HR one is related with the employee details and employee drivers. So I'm just going to be giving an access to these three actions instead. Load countries product is something which I don't want these HR people to see. So maybe I don't need that, right? So that's how you can control this. And once you have given the access individually to the roles, you can very well come and maybe change the access of Ram Krishna to HR role. Now Ramakrishna will be able to see only these particular modules. Maybe Ramakrishna, can you just quickly share your screen and maybe show us like what you are able to see under this particular model?
Yes. Give me a second.
So all these should be in sync, I believe, right? Abhishek, for example, I give HR the right access to margin, but in the roles and actions, I gave access to, in actions, I gave access to load employees. Now for employee module, HRs, they don't have access. Now, if I give a import, that low action is for importing. Even if I give that access, even if they try to import, that should not happen, right? In employees, because employee access are not given, employee module access are not given to HR.
Correct. So everything needs to be in sync. You're correct.
Abhishek, can you give access?
Can you try resharing? Can you try sharing?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So currently, all right. So you have an access for these two modules, which we have just enabled.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay, just open that, please. So just give me a second. Let me just check that which roles I give you an access. Okay. So Rev02 is right one. Can you open Rev02, please? Yeah. So you can see these blue options are there. Okay. So you can very well go out and write there. Rev03 is read. Can you open Rev03? So here, can you try changing the formulas?
Nothing.
Right. You haven't read access to this module. Okay, depending upon your roles. You get the point, right?
Yes.
You can't change anything over there. Here you can change. I'm talking about the values under the cell.
Yeah, got it. Got it.
Version anyways, it will be right always, right? Because even if you give read,
Sorry?
you should versions, it will be always right access by default.
Yep.
They probably need to change to it. Okay.
Can you see that your lists? Can you see any lists?
No.
Click on this. Yeah, there.
Nothing.
Okay, just hold on, please.
Can you see actions?
Can you try refreshing the page once?
It's same.
Oops, please.
Lista.
No, any of the module, just open Rev02 volume input. Okay. Just give me a second. Can you refresh the page once again, please? Okay. Just be there.
Now I can see the list.
Okay. Can you open G2 country? Can you open event department? Once you have an access to this Workspace administrator, then you will be able to see these lists. So the option, can you click on actions?
Now, since he has workplace, I think administration action, that's why he's able to see all that.
Having that master level of access now. Okay. That's fine. Maybe you can stop sharing.
So without workspace admin access, we gave him actions access, right? How do we
See,
check?
the gear icon which you see, okay, how it goes. Let me show you. So this gear icon which you see, okay, you will only be seeing once the workspace administrator is enabled for you. If it's not enabled, you will unfortunately not be able to see that.
Okay.
Okay.
Then there's
So
no point in giving access to actions without giving admin access.
see, this will become handy when things are on dashboards. Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
I mean, maybe here straightforward, it doesn't looks, to be honest, like much useful. But once you have like the data on the dashboard, or you are doing things similar on those lines, then this will become handy. Mhm.
Okay.
Maybe you can try, and you can let me know for this one. Okay, if you have issues.
Sure. Actions anyways will come on dashboards. Lists. How do we see lists?
So lists can be like a context selector on your dashboards. Okay.
Okay.
Which you already see. So and there are like a few options which may you feel that are not handy. So depending upon how you have to use, you can take a call at that moment. To be honest, like we hardly. I'm just telling you from the conceptual perspective. In real time, we will have very rare scenarios where you need to be so restrictive. There are other ways by which you can restrict, and possibly we can use those as well. But yeah, I mean, if you want to just check it out, put things on the dashboard, and then just toggle a little, you will get it.
Sure,
Okay.
we'll give it a try.
Mhm. Okay, so that is one thing related with your rules, how you can control that. And obviously here we can very well conclude that we are doing it on the basis of group of users. So here it's happening on the basis of a single role can be controlling number of different users, how they are able to access the different models, okay, or different modules in a model itself. So that is one thing. So there is something called selective access as well. Okay. Now selective access is something, before I tell you like what selective access is, you can think it's little level granular. Okay. So your rules is something which is defined for a group of people. Okay. For your rules is being defined for the group of people, and who have certain entire access to an area. Whereas when you think of your selective access is only for a specific user. Okay, not a group, but it's gonna be for specific users. And it controls the access for a single list one by one. Now, how it is, let me show you. So suppose you have a general list here, and you have G1 region, G2 country, G3 location. So you have an option of enabling the selective access here at the list level. Selective access is enabled at the list level. That is one thing. Okay. Now, if you see here, then you can just maybe enable this. One thing to remember, if you enable selective access for a child, the parent selective access also gets enabled. Okay, so I am just selecting a G3 location. So your G2 country and G1 region gets selected by default. Vice versa isn't possible. Okay, so if you select a parent, the child doesn't get selected, obviously. So suppose I am maybe selecting this P2 products and P1 product family and enabling a selective access over here. I go to a user tab, and there I suddenly start seeing other options coming in. And that is the list selective access which you have enabled, read and write, read and write. So you have P1 product family write, P1 product family read. P2 products write, P2 products read. Now how it works is for a specific user, you can control which access they're going to be having. So for an example, currently you want like maybe Ram Krishna. Okay, let me just change the access to full for the timing. So currently, if I want like a P1 product family right, under this, I mean Ram Krishna to have right access to P1 product family for all the products, he can do that. Similarly, for the P2 products, you want him to have certain read access, maybe for the chocolates or maybe some specific component. You can just enable this as well. So accordingly, you can give in the access one by one or an entire data if you want. And you can select an OK. Second. Earlier, when we were just trying to give the right access to this, we were not able to. Reason being, the parent was already given an access. Okay, so if a parent can be accessed, obviously the child's could be accessed as well. Ramkrishna, can you just once again share your screen? And I have just enabled P2 products right for these two products. Let's see what are the changes. Can you maybe share your screen and show us what's happening?
Can you guys see my screen? Yeah, this is the thing.
Can you open PNL by country DB? The second last one. Yeah.
This is report, right?
Yep. I'm just seeing this.
No, again, I think the same thing since you don't have admin access.
Yes.
Access the list.
Yeah. Right now I'm unable to see the list also. Means the full access is not given, I think. Workspace access. For premium production, no access. That's why I'm unable to see.
Go to margin calculation. Okay, yeah, I think these two only gave access, right? Abhishek, Mezzo bar and raising the bar.
Yes, only for locations he gave access. That's why I can edit the locations. Here the listed items he didn't give any access.
No, even in the below, in Canada, you see only 2 products, right? Because I think that's because he gave access to only those 2 products.
Yes.
And in margin summary, can you check this Canada and Nutsover down in the same page? Come scroll down. Yeah.
Canada.
Second one.
This one.
Margin summary. Yeah, here. In this. No, in the same page, you see, yes. Scroll down, margin summary. Yeah, just on top of it, you see the drop down. Canada and not, yeah, correct. Nutsover is showing only one.
No, it is only one. For Canada, only Netzobar he given, that's one. That's it. I'm able to select any list items, like product family is not given.
In price growth also, you see only these 2, right?
Yes.
Good price. It's not there. Yeah, Nutsover, because that's why he has given only 2 notes. Select all regions. Should see 2 products at least now. Scroll down. Okay, it's only Nutsover. Yeah, you can't see the least because you admin, but here only those 2 least items will be shown.
Yes.
Whatever access he has given.
Okay.
I think it's dropped.
Dropped.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's right.
Yes, I had a connection drop. So, okay.
So Abhishek, in this models, right? Only those 2 products, least items which you gave access, I think that is coming. That's what it is, I guess.
Yeah. So
you gave access to Netzobar and raising the bar.
correct. So what happens? Like the selective access is though you feel like you are enabling it on the list, but that gets affected for the lists which are used by module as a dimension. Okay,
Yeah.
that specific data you're going to be seeing over here. Okay, ultimately the game is not related with seeing the members in the list, because I mean anyways how that's going to be useful, right?
Yeah.
Right, so main thing is which data where the in which modules it has been used, that's going to be utilized for this purpose. Mhm. Okay, now let's, for an instance, let me just make some modifications just to show you guys. So I just go to actions, sorry, I go to users, and maybe I remove the access and
we can't
by
try
the
this
way,
at home.
sorry,
we can't try this at home because it's like you need to give others access and try it.
I'll tell you a way. Okay, if you just, if I mean if you're keen to do that, just can you refresh this page once again, please, Ram? You refreshed?
Yes.
Okay. Now, where's the dashboard?
No, this is the thing.
Click on the model.
One second.
You click on. You were opening previously dashboard, right? Where is that? Margin calculation DB. Can you open that?
Okay.
Okay. Now, I gave you a read access of P1 product family few members. Yeah, chocolate sauce toffee. Those, yes, you can just click there, and you can read the data from there. Okay, so that's how this selective access is working. So it's more related with the fact that you can control the specific members which can be visible or could be used in modules. And when you say modules, in turn it gets reflected on the dashboard as well. Okay, can you just refresh the page once again, please? So I just gave you a workspace administrator currently. Can you open this margin calculation DB once again? Okay. So yeah, I removed the access from there. P2 products, right? I have given you. So you see nutso bar and reading the bar. So your selective access over here, when you enable the workspace administrator, the gearbox you see, but since selective access is underlying on the top of that workspace administrator access, okay, it's again, I mean, on the top of that, you are restricting. And that is the reason why, though Ram is currently having a workspace admin, but he can't see members other than nutso bar and raising the bar over there in his screen. Okay, Ram is currently a workspace admin access. So he sees that gear icons. But when it comes to here, you will be able to see. But here, when it comes to your modules, okay, since so what happens, like I mentioned, the modules will be now restricted, which you can see the data in over there. So for you, for Ram, it is more like the P2 products only have nutso bar and raising the bar member. That's it for his modules. Okay.
Got it.
Can you click on the gear and show P2 products in that list, which options you are able to see? P2 products. Here you see everything, like I mentioned. So selective access is restricted on the module dimension used. Okay, in general, you will be seeing these values.
Okay.
Can you try deleting one member from G3 location? Just open G3 location. Try to delete one member. Leaf member, don't delete I mean everything, just one leaf. Yeah, Perth, that's fine. Delete it. Delete. Can you see, check once again whether it got deleted? It was in Australia, Perth.
Sorry. Deleted.
It got deleted, right? So, okay. And
he had right access on that?
No, he doesn't have any access, but this time it's triggering because of the workspace admin feature which he has. So that is the reason why, he can do that. So the members, which is, let's not get confused. That's what I'm trying to say. The gear icon, when you click any option which you see, that is respective of the workspace administrator stuffs. Okay. Your selective access works on the modules which are dimensionalized by using those lists on those particular module level. Okay. You got it, right?
Yeah, it's only the module level.
Okay. Now just give me 1 second.
So selective access takes the priority over even workspace administrator access.
Correct. So it's on top of that. Hey, Ram, can you just share your screen 1 second?
Yeah.
Sorry, you need to do a little bit exercise. P2 product sheet, can you open once? Just open, yeah. Just try to delete any member from there. Click on delete. Yeah. Delete that. Okay. So that gets deleted. Okay. Now can you open margin calculation DB once? So here I have just added in these three members now. So that's what it's happening. Since you have a workspace administrator access, you can delete the members of the list. But when you see the data is underlying under the modules where it has been used, the access gets restricted in that fashion. Okay. Now, for the time being, I have given you a model role as HR currently. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you refresh the page once again? Okay. Now, can you open Rev 03 margin calculator? Okay. So open that drop down P2 production. No. How to pronounce that? Connati. Connati drop down. New York, you see, right? Yeah, that drop down. Okay. So base sludge fudge. Some names. Anyways, so what happens? Like here, you have an access of roles. Now, since you have given him the role access, so now you see the combination is happening. So as per role, HR, Rev 02 volume input is write and Rev 03 margin calculation is read. Okay, so that is the options which you see currently out there. So those are the two modules which you are currently seeing. Okay. Now, if you see Rev 02 volume inputs, now let me give you an access to some employees data where this P2 products is not used as a dimension. Okay, so I'll give you an access of 607 department details, maybe. Just give me a second. Venu?
Yeah, Abhishek, I am following.
So it's bouncers.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing, but I'll go through the recording so that I will be perfect.
Okay. So can you just refresh the page once, Ram, please? Okay, now I gave you an access of 607 department details. Can you open that? So over here, you see everything. Okay, you see all the data which are there in 607 department details module. Reason being, the selective access is not applied on that list. Now, if I apply a selective access on the members of that 607 department details, okay. So for an example, even department, I think is the dimension. Okay. Now, give me a second. So I have enabled even department over there. Let me just add in a few stuffs over there. So even departments, right? I give an option of right to Ramakrishna for maybe executive and finance. Can you refresh the page with space, Ram? Department details, please. Okay. Now what happens? Like Ram is currently able to see that module specifically because he's having the role access where he can see 607 department details. He has a write access over there. Okay. But he can see only few members in even departments because I mean 607 department details because selective access is again enabled over there. So you can see it's like a combination which you enable disable for the users accordingly to see these data. I mean, you guys are getting it, right? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yep.
Now I have given the model role as full access once again to Ram. Can you refresh the page? But selective access is enabled for him. Yeah, refresh it. So you are gonna be seeing the, now click on these margin calculation DB, price growth DB. Now you see this, it's coming to your dashboard areas now, because only selective access is given to these pages. Okay, so that is how your rules and selective access works. So one thing we can very well, maybe you can stop sharing now. So one thing you can very well presume and conclude that your rule is defined for the group of people at the same time, whereas your selective access is for the individual user. Okay, so if you have to control a user by user, obviously there's some more granular thing which you're talking about. Do and go with selective access. If you want to control for the entire group, role is a better option to do that. And to enable a role, you can have options over here. Selective access, you need to go and click on list by list and then accordingly enable these options. Okay. Yes, no, okay, fine.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes, Abhishek.
Okay. So
Abhishek,
in that case,
yeah, hello.
yeah, tell me.
Means select to access is related to only let's take an example. I'm giving access to some Akhil and Venu. Okay, I want to give some select access to Venu and then full access to Akhil. Is it possible? Means both are having in the same HR role.
That is possible. That is possible.
Okay.
See, Venu and Akhil will have HR role, but selective access is user by user, right? So you restricted Akhil to see only 3 members and maybe Venu to see 5 members. So Venu can see 5, Akhil can see 3. That's not a problem.
Yes, got it.
Fair enough?
Yes, got it.
Okay, that's fine. So this is how your selective access and role works. Tomorrow we'll start with dynamic cell access. That's again a little level granular where we will be controlling the members of each and every module, the cell values. We'll see how that is done maybe in our tomorrow session. Okay, so start with your sprint 2. Okay, start completing the exercises over there. If you're stuck somewhere, just let me know. We can take them as doubts. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So with that said, let's wrap it up for today. Catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.